Keith Johnston with the Running2bWell group. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
It's great to see you. I'll tell you what, at 8:12 in the morning is when they say, we were talking earlier, you're going to know if you're going to have a good day or not. I can tell you already woke up knowing it was going to be a good day.
Yeah, we're going to do what we can to make it a good day, right?
That's
exactly,
right.
Exactly. So,
well, want to talk to you about your grassroots efforts with Running2bWell. You mentioned that it started in January. Tell us a little bit about the why, the cause behind this, and how it ties into one of the topics that's been making headlines for months.
Right, and that's where we started. I mean, we all read the headlines. We hear about people dying from overdoses. We hear about addiction issues all the time in the media right now. But then it kind of hit close to home when a close friend of mine lost his son to a heroin overdose about 2 years ago. And then also I volunteer at the garage, and we've seen too many overdoses with the youngsters. So I run. And I've been running for a little while now, and I started looking into it and found out that, hey, exercise is very effective in helping people manage addiction, manage mental health issues. And I've had my own addiction issues, and I grew up in a household with mental illness around, and I've found personally that exercise has really helped me manage those parts of my life. It's very effective.
And you know, I think that exercise is, not sounding corny, but something everyone can do. You know, I mean, it's one of those things where, I need a hobby. I need to take up playing the saxophone or this or that. Well, and, you know, the exercise anybody can do. Anybody can run, push-ups, jog, or whatever. And the thing about that is it gives you I force myself to do this, and it's a sense of accomplishment right off the bat without any cost other than maybe a little bit of sweat, a little bit of effort. But it's kind of a self-fulfilling thing. So it's kind of neat that the way it works, you know, psychologically too.
Yeah, and as we've looked into this, we've learned that the physiology of how our brains work, our bodies are built to give us this little reward with our endorphins and the dopamine in our brains. When we do something healthy, exercise for an example, we get these chemicals released in our brains that make us feel good. Well, the problem is that drugs and alcohol, and in particular the opiates, they release those chemicals in such high dosages that it's really hard for us to compete with that. Plus, it's much easier to stick a needle in your arm than to go run a marathon. So it's a tough battle, but we are wired to exercise, and we get a carrot when we exercise. You feel good. The runner's high is a real thing.
To someone that's listening who may be battling addiction, who says, no way, there's no way exercise or even mental health is going to do anything to help me, what would you say to that? Explain how it's helped you.
Well, it has helped me because like I said, the physiology behind it, the chemicals and that sort of thing, but also the camaraderie and the getting involved with a group, that social aspect. Because let's face it, a lot of people that are struggling with mental health issues and addictions, they have a hard time with relationships. They have a hard time connecting, and they have a hard time having healthy social relationships. That's why they're turning to the drugs and the alcohol. So what we're offering is not just running and exercising. We're offering camaraderie. We're offering a group, social, healthy interaction, because we do more than just run. So we spend time talking to one another. We spend time eating, sharing meals. We do other things. We do yoga, which is very entertaining to watch a 54-year-old like myself trying to touch my knees. It's very difficult, but you know, it is entertaining, and so there's that social aspect of it too.
I presume you're accountability partners as well as everyone involved with Running2bWell, recovering addicts or not. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, that's interesting, because when we first started the group, we didn't want to be just like a support group, like an AA or anything like that. They have that kind of support, right? So people do talk about stuff, but no, we're not really a addiction treatment, a recovery support group. So stuff comes up and we talk about it. But here's the deal. In our group, nobody knows who's a volunteer and who's a participant, right? Because we're all messed up. We've all got issues. And we all have something to contribute. So there's no us and them in our group. Everybody's on the same level. We're very loosely organized. And so when you come to one of our meetings, you're not going to be asked to, share your story. If you want to, that's fine. And you're not going to get any counseling treatment from us. We're not counselors. We're runners. Okay, we're going to help you run. Now, so accountability for running, yes. You know, if you don't show up for a meeting for a while, you're going to get a couple of messages from me. Say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Where you been? We've missed you, you know. And I might even drive by your house and pull your butt out of bed, but, you know.
It's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Keith, how many folks you have in the club? Number one. Number two, I'm going to assume that it spans the gamut of ages from, let's say, teenagers on up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd love to have more of our kids involved. That's another story. We have about 200 people that are involved with our Facebook group. That's the main way to reach us. If you just look up Running2bWell on Facebook, and we'll spell that out for you later. But there's about 200 people involved on the fringes, and about 20 people or so that are actively involved coming to group meetings and runs. And yes, absolutely, all ages and all fitness levels. Because see, here's the deal. As soon as I say Running2bWell, a lot of people say, oh, I can't run. I mean, that's the first reaction. That's about the first reaction I got from the studio here, is that, oh, I can't run.
I think I don't want to run.
There.
I know I can, but I don't want to.
Now we're getting down to it.
I'm being honest. I'm
We
a
like
big
honesty.
baby about that.
We like honesty. So here's what we do. When anybody that's not like already an accomplished runner, we start with a walk/run program. So you're going to walk for as far as you can, or for as many minutes as you can, really, because it's the time more than the distance. And then slowly build in a little bit of running, maybe just a minute or two every 10 minutes, and then build up. Because a lot of times when people are first starting off, you need a goal, right? So you can't just say, hey, I'm just going to run every day, whatever. That's not going to work too well. So one of the most typical goals, or the most common goals that we use, is we train people to run a 5K race, which is 3.1 miles. And so we use a walk-run program that's very popular. It's called Couch to 5K.
I have 2 friends doing it right now.
Nice.
They're on week 7.
Yes. It's very effective at getting people that are not used to any sort of active exercise or regular exercise. It's very effective in getting them to that point by slowly introducing the running. Because too many people say, hey, I'm going to run a 5K. So let's see, a 5K is 3.1 miles. So first day I need to run 3 miles. Not a great idea.
That's me.
Oops.
That was totally me. Maybe that's why I hate running so much. I need a different approach.
You need our group.
The biggest hurdle to get over is and again, obviously there's effort involved, but people don't realize how resilient or how recovering or conditioning the body can be, regardless of what shape you're in. Because I will speak to a few years back, just 4 or 5 years back, I put a roof on my house, okay? Me, myself, and I. Get up there, and after working the weekend, Monday morning I got up. I literally did not think I'd be able to get out of it. I mean, I was sore. I was hurting. But it took me about 3 or 4 weekends. After the 4th weekend, it's like, boom, I was up. It was like I didn't do anything that weekend. Yep. And I mean, that's not, and again, it's just amazing. And again, that wasn't even proper training. That was just being stupid and throwing into it. But again, with training like that, it's encouraging to know that if you think you can't do it, you're wrong, because you can.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's never too late to start, and you cannot be in too bad a shape to start. Many studies have shown that no matter how old you are or how deconditioned you are, your body will still respond by adapting. But the key is to do that slowly and in a controlled manner so that you don't get injured. Because if you start off too fast, not only are you going to hate it, but you're really running a risk of an injury like a stress fracture or IT band issues. These are all very common things for runners to experience, but that's because they've started off too fast. And in our group, we want to make sure that that doesn't happen, because with somebody that's coming out of recovery treatment, they're already kind of, they're compulsive. I'll just say it. They just want to do things and just do it full bore. And that's a very dangerous situation, because now we've got somebody coming out of recovery treatment. We've got them convinced that exercise is the way to go. Now they're injured. Whoa, now we've got a problem, because now they can't exercise. They can't get that drug. There's a very big danger of relapse at that point. So we are very careful, not as careful as we should be, but we're learning.
It looks like you have an event that is coming up in just a few days.
Yes, our vegan dinner. Yeah.
That's right up my alley.
Nice. Well, it's not mine. I'm a
Oh, see, let's
carnivore.
swap.
Yeah, see.
Well, I love meat as well. I do, but
Well, so here's the deal. Two of our members in our club are vegan, and they've been, slowly trying to indoctrinate us into the healthy aspects of a vegan lifestyle. And I'm not going to mention them by name. Hopefully they'll hear this, but we're very excited about this event. Not only because of that, they're going to cook us some awesome meals, and I've had some of their food. It's excellent. And believe me, I'm a carnivore. But I love their cooking. It's very healthy. But here's the best part: is we're meeting up in a cabin in Hinckley Reservation. And if you go to our website or our Facebook page, you'll see the event there. We'd love to have you. But it's going to be a trail run, so we're going to be running through the woods and then eating vegan. I mean, this is going to be incredible.
it sounds lots of fun.
Well, you answered at least part of the question I was going to have is where do you run? Obviously, you're running in Hinckley, but where is that the only place? Do you move around or what?
No, we try to keep a Tuesday night is our official group run night, and we're going to expand that a little bit as we move forward. But we typically meet in Medina because we're trying to just focus in Medina County, and Medina's kind of the center of Medina County. So we typically run at Lake Medina at about 7 o'clock on Tuesday evenings, and then we go grab something to eat and just hang out and talk a little bit. And then on Saturdays and Sunday mornings, we typically run in one of the parks. So we'll go up to Hinckley sometimes, Buckeye Woods, Hubbard Valley. We've got some great county parks to run in, and getting out in the environment, nature is really a key here too for dealing with addiction, mental health issues. Just being out, moving in the environment is very healthy.
Do you find, Keith, after a while that folks who are dealing with addiction and running, did they talk to a fellow runner? Did they talk to somebody else, maybe try to open up about what they're dealing with?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the way our group is growing. It's very organic in the sense that it's just relational. When we started a group, that's the main thing we're trying to offer is that connection, that social connection between people, revolving around exercise. So that word of mouth, that connecting to other runners and that sort of thing is really been our main way of growing and connecting with people.
It's 8:57 in the morning here on Wadsworth Community Radio, 97.1. And again, in the studio with us, we have Keith Johnston talking about his Running2bWell program.
Well, Keith, I know we have to wrap up here in just a minute, so we're going to be sharing the September 13th trail run on our Facebook page so that, and on some of the other pages that I manage too, our Wadsworth Drug-Free Community Coalition, so that people who may not know you're out there can know that you're there, and it may offer another way for them to get connected, to stay well, and get healthy doing it.
Great, thank you. And look us up on Facebook, Running2bWell. We have a group page that's public, and it's running, the word running, the number 2, the letter B, and then the word well. And then we also have a closed group where most of our information gets shared because, we want to protect people's anonymity. But we do have a public page, so look us up there, and we'd love to see you.
Very good.